Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is going to be another Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, in this video, I'm going to answer the most asked question in my Twitch all the time. And it used to be, who should I 6-star next? That's not what it is anymore, guys. It's, how do you roll gear so fast? This video is going to be about why I use Bluestacks to play Raid probably like 90% of the time. I'm going to show you how I do 3 things in Bluestacks. One is roll gear fast. 2 is run macro so that I can have auto clickers for different parts of the game. And then 3 is how I run multi-instances of Bluestacks so that I can run my main account and my alt account at the same time. So firstly, I get a lot of people say, you know, visually, it's just way worse. So I'd rather run player in play. And by the way, Bluestacks is on PC, guys, or laptops. So if you're running on a phone, sorry, I don't think this works for you, or I don't think there's an equivalent. Basically, what Bluestacks is an emulator of an Android or a phone. So yeah, you can download a bunch of different games on it and play different games. I actually play Dragon Champions, Raid, and a few others on my Bluestacks. Are they really any different? Let me just flick between. This is player in play. This is Bluestacks. Player in play. Bluestacks. Player in play. Bluestacks. So I'd say there's like a small graphical advantage, or yeah, an okay graphical advantage for player in play. Visually, player in play just looks a bit sharper. If you just kind of see the lines of the keep and stuff like that here, it just sharpens up when you go to player in play. But for what I use Bluestacks for, which is basically speed and efficiency, I don't care about that. This isn't a sponsored video from Bluestacks. This is me just trying to answer a question that get asked a ton of times and do a video about a bunch of things for Bluestacks at the same time. You can download Bluestacks from my link below. I'll put it in, it's always in my video descriptions. I'll put it in a pinned comment on this video as well. I get like $1 if you download it through my link. And if you download any of the other games in my link as well, then yeah, I get like less than $1. But that's not what it's for. I'm just trying to help you guys out. But I would appreciate if you do that. Do it on my link. Before we get into the kind of 3 things, there's one other just topic I want to bring up. My second channel, Hell Hades Incarnate, it's got its 3rd video dropping today. I've already got 2 videos out there, and a lot of you guys have been supporting the channel. In my 3rd video will be the first time that I offer a giveaway of a pre-alpha key to get into this game. Playtest it with me. There's going to be 100 of us playtesting it. And that playtest is going to start in about 5 weeks. But one of the first keys is being dropped in the video today. And the video is actually an interview with one of the co-founders and lead developers of Incarnate. So it's a bit of a longer video. It's like a full interview sort of style video. But a lot of stuff is answered in there. If you've not seen this yet, guys, come and check out the game. Come and check out my second channel. Drop me a sub. Get involved. I think it's going to be a massive game, and I'm really hyped for its release early next year. But you will be able to get a key to join in the fun pre-alpha, which is very rare, and literally my community is the only community with this opportunity. So I'll link this in the description below as well. So the first thing I'm going to show you how to do, by the way, I'm going to say so a lot in this video. The first thing I'm going to show you how to do is run multiple instances of Bluestacks. It's very easy. It's a very quick one. So let's do that first. Click on, this is what the Bluestacks window looks like before I've popped it out. Click on the little 3 dots. That gives you a bunch of settings and options. Go into more and then click on this kind of 2 squares overlapping each other. Multi-instance manager. Click on that. It will download this, a Bluestacks multi-instance manager. And basically what it does is you can have as many instances saved to your system as you like. So you can clone the instance with the double square here. You can delete out the ones you don't want. And every time you clone an instance, you get all of the apps at that level back onto your computer. So if I was to start Bluestacks 2, if I was to start Bluestacks 3, you see, I get other instances of Bluestacks popping up. Now, what I tend to do is I have my Dragon Champions main account on Bluestacks 2. I have my Dragon Champions alt account on Bluestacks 3. I have my actual main account on Bluestacks 1. Bluestacks, and then Bluestacks 1 is my alt. So I have 4 instances of Bluestacks running on my system at any time if I'm playing multiple games. And if you're thinking to yourself, the guy's a lunatic, yes, I am. This is what I do in between videos, is try and keep my accounts moving. It's very hard to manage multiple accounts and multiple games. So literally, I'll click on Bluestacks here. Because I've saved this instance as my main account, it will just log straight into my main account. If I was to click on Raid on one of the other ones, it would actually take me to a login screen. Why is this one not firing up? Must have it live somewhere. Here we go. So this is a login screen, so I can log into someone else's account if I wanted to, unlike my takeovers or shard pools, that type of thing. But this one's going to load into my main account. So multiple instances of Bluestacks is a pretty effective thing. Now, a lot of people also say, well, Bluestacks does not run very well on my system. It's a bit hungry. It's a bit hungry on your CPU. One of the things you can do here is click into settings, go into engine, scroll down, look at my settings here, which you can copy. Let me just do this one full screen. Not hide it, do it full screen. Settings, go into engine. You can copy these settings here. Most of them are literally the pre-defined settings. Make sure you've got OpenGL on graphics. This is the main part though. On performance, this will be set initially to 1 core. Now, Bluestacks works better if you've got multiple cores on your system. So I go straight up to 4 cores and I enable high RAM. If you do that, then Bluestacks will run really cleanly. You've got your FPS rate here. I enable high frame rates as well, but you don't have to. If you don't click that, it will just be default 60, which actually works fine. So, and the rest of it here is already set. After you've done that, Bluestacks should work fine on your system. If it doesn't, then perhaps your system's just a bit old and Bluestacks is not for you. Okay, so the second one then is how do you roll gear fast? And I'll show you exactly what I do. So I have my Bluestacks window open like this. The little 3 lines here, menu, I go into menu, I click on streaming mode, and it pops the actual game outside of your holder. And you can resize this however you want. So I can resize this up. And then what I do, so let's go into a piece of gear that I'm going to roll up. Let's just take these gloves. Yeah. Now what I do is I go into settings. I go into engine. I scroll down to frame rate. And I drop the frame rate to 10. And save. Now, if you're doing anything else in the game, this will be slow. It'll be slow on your system. So don't leave it on 10. You need to, once you've finished doing your roll of gear, back it back up to 60 and hit save again. I leave this open. I actually leave it open on my second monitor when I'm streaming so that I can flick between the 10 and 60 whenever I want. Yeah, if you close this down, then you have to keep going back into settings, picking up engine. But if you've got space on your screen to do it, I leave it open and I flick between the 10 and the 60 because if you're on 10 doing anything else in the game's going to feel really sluggish. So when we're on 10 then, we can go into these gloves. You see how it feels sluggish to even select it? I click on upgrade and I upgrade to 16 and watch the speed of the rolls. Bam, bam, bam. Yeah. So it is incredibly fast compared to doing it in player in play. I think there's other ways to do it for player in play now. Someone's come up with different ideas. This just works for me because I know how it works. It's very simple. And at any time, I can just flick between the two and I know exactly what I'm doing. So this is the most asked question in my stream answered. Just flick between 10 and 60 on your frame rate. And you see how quickly that's rolled up to 16 if I get a roll. But it's probably saved me 5 minutes. It saved me having to go to the kitchen, make a cup of tea, go for a wee, take the dogs for a walk, and then come back and it's just finished. Instead, I could probably just have a quick slurp of my tea, talk to the odd person in stream, and then we got a 16. But if I left this on 10 like it is right now, and I then went into an actual part of the game, okay, all of the offers, no thanks. So if I went into a part of the game, feel how kind of sluggish this looks and feels. This is what will happen if you leave it on 10. The game will look ugly, slow, unplayable. Yeah, so if I hit start here, it feels awful. So you don't leave it on 10. You throw it back up to 60. Well, let's just show you it playing. Nothing will happen until I hit save, by the way. So even though I've moved it to 60, that's not changed the frame rate. It's still sitting on 10 right now. Game's taking a while anyway. You see how it looks? Just awful, yeah? Click it back up to 60 and save, and it's clean again. So make sure you do that change. So let's come out of here. So the last thing then I want to show you is macros. Macros to, let's just get this back up to full screen. This is full screen within the kind of boundaries. I'm going to leave the boundaries on here because I'm going to be showing you some stuff within these settings. Normally what I do though when I'm playing the game and recording it for you guys is I go full screen and then I press F11 and it fills the screen. So it actually looks like I'm playing on player in play. F11 fills the screen, yeah? So F11 again gets it back down, pressed across, puts it back in its box, and then we're back in the main screen. So macros. Macros help you with auto farming, and you can do several macros in Bluestacks. It's actually, for me, a really simple tool, and yeah, it's one of the best things. It's the first reason I got Bluestacks, and then I found these other things as I've gone. So you see this little kind of like clipboard with a triangle on the right hand side. Macro recorder. Click the macro recorder and it pops this up. And you either record new macro, you'll have to if it's the first time you're doing this, or it pre-saves a bunch of other macros that you've done. If you start a new instance of Bluestacks with that multi-instance, it copies those macros over to your second instance. So I can create one macro for farming and it will be on all of my different Bluestacks instances. So let's show you a new one then. And pretty much all you're doing is you're recording screen clicks. So if I'm doing a farming stage like this, let's just stop it being on Nightmare for a second. Go back to Brutal. So I want to farm stage 12-3. What I will do is I will personally hit start. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to do the thing first, and then I'm going to record the macro for the second run. It makes more sense, and I'll show you why in a minute. So we do the run. Ethos Rex face as always, and we see that was like a 7-second run. Yeah. So what I'm going to do now is record a new macro. Click record new macro, and what it's doing is it's recording where my mouse goes and where I click. So record new macro. It's happening now. I hit replay. First click. I basically wait for the run to happen. I hit replay again, and then I hit stop. Stop recording macro. So now I've got this new macro called macro free. If I play that macro, once Ethos does his thing, what this will do is it will now be running non-stop. And what it's going to do is it's going to hit replay for me. I've not pressed that. This is the simplest version, by the way, guys. Yeah, it's going to come out, and then it's going to hit replay again. Within the macro, you can, let me show you this, settings. You can have this repeat one time, which I've got here, or you can have it infinitely until stopped. Yeah? Or if you know exactly how many times it's going to take you to farm up food, for example, if I was doing, I've got different macros here for my free-to-play account. And I'll show you an example of this. So for my 3-star fooding in the Vlad area on my free-to-play, I need it to repeat 32 times. So you need to work out how much XP you're getting for the champions you've got and what level they are. And then you have it repeat for the number of times you want it to repeat for to get yourself that champion level to full for campaign. Yeah? When I am doing a macro for Dragon, I just have it click that replay button over and over again. And in the settings for that one, that's my macro 2 here, I have it go infinitely because that's going to be my farm overnight macro. And I have it infinitely, and after, and basically it repeats every 55 seconds roughly for my Dragon runs. So you can basically have it, you can have it just going literally every 5 seconds if you want. And then that way you'll kind of have no miss out. So basically it can let you farm any area of the game over and over again. So if you want to capitalize on the energy you've got in your account overnight, then this is the way to do it. You basically keep your farm going. It'll keep clicking even if you've got no energy there. It'll just keep clicking, and eventually when your energy retops up, because of time, then it will just click it again and run again. If you want to do this on your kind of accounts and prep yourself, so you only use a certain amount of energy, you can actually use some of your gems and pre-prep the amount of energy you've got to use up here, and then you can replay it overnight so that it burns that energy, which is what a lot of the high-level players do. They just run Fire Knight or Dragon over and over again. One of the other things you can do with this is you can actually get a bit more complex. So I could record a new macro, and I could hit replay as the start of it. And again, this is kind of more campaign than anywhere else, I would say. But I can hit replay here, wait till the run's happened. I can click on where the gear is. I can press sell, sell. Make sure you do this quite slowly and then hit replay again. Yeah? I would probably even slow down the steps of what I've done just there. Hit stop after that, and that'll run. Slow down the steps probably a slight touch, because just in case something different happens. But if you watch me play that one over now, we hit replay. And all it is recording mouse clicks, guys. So it's actually very simple to run. You can kind of have it do anything, really. We then, hopefully we click the piece of gear. We click sell. We click sell. I'm not doing any of this. And then we should click replay. Bam. And I've got that to run once. I could have it to run 100 times if I wanted. So, look, guys, I think that's going to be it for the video. 3 things that I use Bluestacks for, which will massively just support you in your gameplay. The gear roll one for me is literally a lifesaver. Literally a lifesaver. So if you want to download Bluestacks, as I said earlier, please use my link below. I do get a benefit from that. I've been Hell Hades. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll catch you later.